guys, so many of you may have seen that Dan Red made a video response totally devoted to my video. And that is not what this video is about, because to be honest, I only just watched it, so I'm still processing what I think about it. Perhaps in the future I will post a response, but I'm not totally sure how I think about it yet, and that's not what this video is about. This video, well, actually, really quick. So like I said, I haven't processed the video yet, so I'm not totally sure what I think. But in this very moment, with many feelings and thoughts unprocessed, I'm not totally sure I'm super jazzed about it, and there were definitely some things I take issue with. But I don't know if I want to make a video response. Because one of the last things I want to do is start like an endless chain of responses with another fellow YouTuber. I don't know. I just don't want to be like that person who, like, I don't know. I don't feel like what me and Dan got into, or what Dan and, well, I don't know. Maybe what Dan and other people got into could have been construed as a small online altercation, a war of sorts. But I don't think what Dan and I got into would be described as like a video response war. But I don't know. The last thing I want it to morph into is a video response war. I don't ever want to start like wars or arguments with other YouTubers. And I know so far the tone hasn't been like that. It's been a decently amicable tone. Hopefully, I've seemed calmish and constructive, and some of the comments would say he seemed defensive, but I don't know. As far as the tone goes, I'll take the tone. It seemed pretty friendly, and I just don't want that friendly tone and talking, that discourse, to morph into like, well, now you're not listening to me, so I'm upset. Well, now you're not, I don't want it, so I don't know. But, so first comment question of the day. So that's not something I want to happen, because I don't want to ever be that person on YouTube. I'm kind of just okay existing as a floater, like having my channel and like not trying to police what other people do on their channels, you know what I mean? But does it make me a bad ally if I do take some of the things in the video if I do take issue with some of the things he said in the video and then I don't respond? Is that like a poor ally move? Because that's another thing I'm wondering. Maybe it would just be enough to leave a comment with the things and like kind of have it like be sort of, I don't know. Because I also don't want to feel like I have to have the last word, because that's not super important to me. The only reason it would be important to me to have the last word would be if he said, because I do think you kind of have, like, I don't know, sort of, if you're going to be a good ally, I guess, obligation or responsibility to call out, transphobic things, or like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but this video is about something, so if you want to comment about anything I just said, go for it. Like, that can be a comment question of the day. But this video is actually about something totally different. I read, like, maybe 60% of the comments on Dan's video, the most recent one. And a lot of them were really constructive and awesome. Like, a majority of them were, and that was great. Some people said they really appreciated my video. That was awesome. 4 or 5 comments were just undescribably, inexplicitly mean, just saying I have like an inflated ego and things like that, and that's fine. Those are pretty easy to brush off, because those people they just sound like jerks, and it's really easy to, when a comment just sounds like it's coming from a douchebag, it's just like, oh, well, I don't really care what a douchebag thinks of me. But one comment stuck with me, and that's what I want to talk about. It really bothered me, this comment, and I use bothered in a really, like, general sense. Not like, the comment bothered me because it was wrong. Like, the comment, like, made me flustered inside. And it really, I couldn't shake it from my brain for a while. And this was the comment. And when I say bothered, I don't mean, like, why would you comment that? I mean, like, does your comment have a point it's making me think? Kind of bothered. Bloop, bloop, bloop. So, the comment was this. Ashley recently spoke about asexuality and aromantic. I'm not quoting it verbatim. This is a paraphrase. Ashley recently spoke about asexuality and aromantic issues on her channel when she was clearly uneducated. It was ignorant, so I'm having trouble taking anything she says seriously. So I just want to talk about that. And the last thing I want to do is get defensive. See, now that I'm so, like, insecure about the comment that I've blanked after I've said it. I had this whole, like, sort of, like, general plan before I went into this video. So what was I going to talk about? Bloop, bloop. Okay, first of all, so for any of you who identify as asexual or aromantic, I'm just going to start off with a few apologies. One, this channel kind of plays by different rules than my main channel. I definitely am much less cautious before I speak. I just am a person that is cautious before they speak in real life with my family, friends, girlfriend, on my second channel, my main channel. So like I still have a sense of caution before I speak. So I definitely thought and did some educating before I made the video. But like, it's not to the extremes that I do on my main channel, because my main channel reaches a much like larger audience. It's kind of taken as like here's some like researched education that for the most part, not really, but I think this is how sometimes people see it, you can take and use as fact. Sometimes I make mistakes, but mostly this is good stuff. This channel, I hope it's assumed, I know assumptions are always dangerous, that this is a little bit more of a conversation, and I did mention several times in those videos that I definitely could be making a lot of mistakes, and that if I were to be making mistakes, please call me out of them in the comments. And then I did make a few follow-up videos, and then I said, please don't take anything I say in this video as truth. Take what I say in this video plus the comment section combined together as like a source of some information about these topics. So I think I guess what I'm worried about is I don't want to pull a Dan Brown as far as like ace and arrow issues goes. I really hope I wasn't doing that. I think like this, I know it's going to sound like I'm being defensive, and I apologize for that, but like, you know, when somebody calls you out, like you have an instinctual muscle that you reflex that's a little defensive. And I hope doesn't seem defensive. It's just like, I guess I'm trying to explain where I was coming from. I don't know. It was just like an issue. When I say I don't identify with that community totally, that's not totally true. I do identify as demi-romantic. But I used to think I was a demisexual, and then, like many people who, like many people who aren't very educated on the things, I was mistaking my sexual and romantic attractions. A lot of people don't know how to separate them. They're really together, and I was like that, and I thought I was demisexual, but I'm actually demi-romantic. So anyway, I don't know. I think, but back to the part where I was actually apologizing. A lot of the things I said in that video were incorrect. And if that bothered you, if it wasn't enough that I apologized with a disclaimer, and if the comments section, if you didn't want to like take it as an amalgamation project, and that still bothered you that I felt that I could talk about those things, and I did make mistakes, and that bothered you, I'm sorry. It would be really frustrating, I think, to be like, oh, here's another Z-sexual person or allosexual person. I don't know which term to use yet. I haven't quite decided. That's like a controversy in the community to use allo or Z-sexual. And I don't know, because I don't have strong feelings. And I think it should be up to the community, and I'm not part of the community, so I'm just going to use them interchangeably. And again, if that offends you, I apologize. I don't know which one to use yet. I think I'm going to use Zed. I think Zed, a lot of people don't know what Z-sexual is, though. Z-sexual is essentially the same thing as allosexual. It's just a different word. It means people who have sexual, like, attraction. And, what was I even saying? Oh, I don't know. But, first of all, did any of you aromantic or asexual people feel offended by those videos? Was there any issues you took with? I definitely made some mistakes. And it would be frustrating to, like, tune into something and see your community misrepresented. I definitely, like, I don't know, if somebody was talking about bisexuality and they were making a whole bunch of mistakes, like, I'd be like, look at all these misconceptions. There's so many, like, myths about my sexuality. I feel so misunderstood. No one gets me. Like, that, I get that. Like, that could be frustrating. But then I guess, I don't know, are people not in communities allowed to talk about things? Like, I don't know. And then if so, how do you bring it beyond that community? I don't know. I'm really open. And if you're watching, if the person who left that comment is watching this, I'm so open to reading a longer explanation with an open heart and an open mind. I really, really want to know. So yeah, I definitely see how the mistakes I made, like, could be offensive to people. I guess I underestimated how offensive, or maybe I underestimated that it could be offensive because I had the disclaimer in, and because I meant the disclaimer, and because I really thought the comment section would be taken, like, with the video as, like, an ultimate project, not just like the video. So maybe I underestimated that, and I probably shouldn't have. So if I made some mistakes, which I did, and it offended you, I apologize. That sucks. I'm really sorry. That would be frustrating. I'm trying to empathetically put myself in your shoes, and like that indeed would be frustrating. But just as a whole, for people who were offended or weren't offended, and people who do belong to this community, the asexual and aromantic community, what did you think about my videos when I was talking about QPRs? Do you think I should have just like kept my mouth shut and not talked about it? Do you think I need to do even more education? Because I definitely did educate myself. I mean, I not maybe to the extent I should have, but it's not like I just heard of something for one time and then talked about it. I definitely read like a few articles and I watched a lot of stuff. But it's definitely not the same as like living a life in that community and like identifying in that community. So there's obviously like, I don't know. Well, I guess that comment bothered me because I went to great lengths to try to like talk about something in a careful way, and I'm worried maybe I didn't go to enough lengths and I did offend people. And that like I just don't want to do that, you know? Because like I said, I'm putting myself in other people's shoes, and like that would be annoying and frustrating, and I don't want to make people annoyed or frustrated or like I don't know. I guess the feeling I'm imagining is like defeated, like watching a video about. It's kind of like when people view me and Grace's relationship as like different, and they don't quite understand it. They don't understand that it can be like like real love. Yeah. Anyway, and like that just makes me sad. Like, oh, you just don't get it, do you? And I hope that none of you watched my video and thought, oh, you just don't get it, do you? Maybe you thought, oh, you don't quite get it, but you're interested in learning, and here's some things, and everyone's talking about stuff now. That's kind of what I was hoping you were gonna think. But I don't know. You can't really, like, hope people think things, because intent is different than impact. I don't know. So what did you think? If you belong to this community, do you think I went about it in an okay way, or not? And I don't mean, like, did I go about it in a perfect way? Because I absolutely didn't. Like, of course I made mistakes. But, like, just as a whole, did I or not? And I'm definitely open to the not if you don't think so, because I would love to hear. Yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Lots of long videos from Ashley.